Good morning, children. Hope you are now ready for the next part of the 100 dresses. Today we will do that. Just only one point. Let me remind you that this time your literature marks has got increased from 30 to 40. So you have become much more specific about literature. You have to read literature more than before. I wish that after finishing this syllabus, I will take up one exclusive video for explaining the blueprint of the question paper. That I will try to do. I have the plan. Today, let us finish the chapter first, then we can think of these. Okay, children? So get ready. The 100 dresses part 2 we are doing. Now, while the class was circling the room, the monitor from the principal's office brought Miss Masson a note. If you can remember that the 100 dresses were displayed, the competition was held, and the winner was Wanda Petronsky, the girl who was much more teased, bullied by Peggy, Maddie, and other children also. So now, while the class was circling the room, the monitor from the principal office brought Miss Masson a note. Miss Masson, the class teacher of room number 13, she got a letter. What was in it? Miss Masson read it several times and studied it thoughtfully for a while. Then she clapped her hands. Attention class, everyone back to their seat. When the shuffling of feet had stopped and the room was still and quiet, Miss Masson said, I have a letter from Wanda's father that I want to read to you. Now the scuffling, because of their taking the seat, they came back to the seat, they seated in the seat. When the class became quiet, then she said that I have a letter from Wanda's father, which she wanted to read it out in the class. Miss Masson stood there a moment, and the silence in the room grew tense, because you can understand that Wanda was not coming. Wanda did a wonderful job. So everybody was very inquisitive to know about Wanda. And the letter came from her father. So definitely there must be something. And that made Miss Masson also thoughtful. What was that? She adjusted her glasses slowly and deliberately. Her manner indicated that what was coming. This letter from Wanda's father was a matter of great importance. Everybody listened closely as Miss Masson read the brief note. What was written there? Dear teacher, my Wanda will not come to a school anymore. Jake also. Jake means Wanda's brother. Now we move away to a big city. No more Holler Pollock. No more ask why funny name. Plenty of funny names in the big city. Yours truly, Jan Petronsky. So Wanda's father wrote a letter to Miss Masson that his two children, Wanda and Jake, would not be coming to the school anymore. And no more Holler Pollock. Holler means to call out. To cry, to call out, and Polak means means to call out someone in a very irritating, in a angry manner. Here, not angry, in a bully, for trying to bully their names. So no more Holler Polak, no more ask why funny name. Plenty of funny names, because in a big city there are lots of people from different parts of the country, different countries also. So there nobody is going to ask why such funny name do they have. So no more of this. So plenty of funny names in the big city. So they are living. So yours truly, Jan Petronsky. A deep silence met the reading of this letter. Miss Masson took off her glasses, blew on them, and swiped them on her soft white handkerchief. Then she put them on again and looked at the class. When she spoke, her voice was very low. I'm sure that none of the boys and girls in room 13 would purposely and deliberately hurt anyone's feelings because his or her name happened to be a long unfamiliar one. Now she said that next time onwards, I expect that no one from room number 13 would make fun for anybody having unfamiliar name or a name which is not natural to them. I prefer to think that what was said in thoughtlessness. I would try to I would try to pacify myself by thinking that what was done, what you people have done with wonder, it was a matter of thoughtlessness, not deliberately. You could not understand, that is why it was made, and it was made by mistake. I hope that was the reason, and it would not be repeated anymore with anyone. I know that all of you feel the way I do, and I expect that the way I'm feeling, you all are feeling like that. And that is very unfortunate thing to have happened. Unfortunate and sad, both. And I want you all to think about it. I will expect that everybody will give a thought regarding the behavior that you have done to this girl because of her big name or unfamiliar name. The first period was a study period. Maddie tried to prepare her lessons, but she could not put her mind on her work. She had a very sick feeling in the bottom of her stomach. True, she had not enjoyed listening to Peggy ask Wanda how many dresses she had in her closet, but she had said nothing. It is true, if she says today that she did not like it, yes, it is true she did not like it. But it is also true that she did not stop also Peggy from doing this. That is to hurt Wanda in that way. That also she did not do. So she had stood by silently, and that was just as bad as what Peggy had done. So though she thought it in a different way, though she did not like it, but she cannot call herself free from the mistake what Peggy had done, no less. What Peggy had done, the equal mistake she also had done with Wanda. Worse, she was a coward. At least Peggy hadn't considered they were being mean, but Maddie, had thought they were doing wrong. She could put herself in Wanda's shoes. Maybe Peggy could not feel it. Peggy could not realize it. At least Maddie realized it. She could feel it. Why didn't she stop? She felt like that. If she would put herself in Wanda's shoes, that means if she could put herself in the place where Wanda was, that is in the same economic condition, or you can say the same situation as Wanda was going through. If she could put her, she could feel what Wanda was feeling, and definitely she would stop. Why didn't she do that? She herself was feeling very guilty from inside. Goodness, wasn't there anything she could do? If only she could tell Wanda she hadn't meant to hurt her feelings. She turned around and stole a glance at Peggy. Now what to do? Now Wanda has left. Now what they can do? Now she is feeling very bad that she could not say a sorry also to Wanda. She turned around and stole a glance at Peggy. But Peggy did not look up. She seemed to be studying hard. Well, whether Peggy felt bad or not, Maddie, had to do something. Enough is enough. Now she would do something. She would say sorry to Wanda somehow. She had to find Wanda Petronsky. Maybe she had not yet moved away. Maybe Peggy would climb the heights, that is Boggin Heights, with her, and they would tell Wanda she had won the contest. At least she would go and she would inform. She wanted to inform her personally that Wanda had won, and she was happy with that. And they thought she was smart and 100 dresses were beautiful. At least the last chance she would take to appreciate Wanda, to say sorry and to appreciate Wanda. When school was dismissed in the afternoon, Peggy said with pretended casualness, "Hey, let's go and see if that kid has left town or not." Very casually she said it, but she was not casual from inside. From inside, she was quite thoughtful that what to do, whether she could reach and could say or not. But From outside, she pretended to be very casual as she used to do earlier also. So Peggy had the same idea. Maddie glowed. Peg was really all right. Finally, she saw or that she understood that Peggy had the same idea, that is to go and to say something to Wanda. Fine. So finally, both of their thoughts matched and they could take their proper action now. The two girls hurried out of the building, up the street toward Boggin Heights, the part of town that wore such a forbidding air. Forbidding air means bad air. That means you can understand that it was a place of the not so rich people. So the air was dampy, not so good. Slum like that, wore such a forbidding air on this kind of a November afternoon, drizzly, damp and dismal. Very drizzly, very damp in the month of November also, because much air, much sunlight could not reach their small houses very close to each other. So that is why the whole area was not giving a very positive vibe to them. Well, at least said Peggy gruffly. Gruffly means angrily. Roughly, you can say here. I never did call her a foreigner or make fun of her name, trying to excuse herself in her own way. I never did call her a foreigner. That is, I did not do the mistake by calling her foreigner. I never did call her a foreigner or make fun of her name. I never thought that she had the sense to know we were making fun of her anyway. I thought that she would understand that we were making fun with her. So I did not deliberately call her to be foreigner or her name to be a her name by calling her name to be a foreigner. I did not do that. She must understand why we were saying so. We are just making fun of her. But actually, Peggy also could understand that she had done the mistake by making fun with the name of Wanda. I never thought she had the sense to know we were making fun of her anyway. I thought she was too dumb. And look how she can draw. And really, she could draw very nicely. That she appreciated at least at the end. That yes, she could draw. Maddie could say nothing. All she hoped was that they would find Wanda. Maddie did not have any thought other than to find Wanda. No excuses, not trying to pacify herself, nothing. Only thought was to meet and to say sorry to Wanda in front of her, face to face. Maddie could say nothing. All she hoped was that they would find Wanda. She wanted to tell her that they were sorry they had picked on her and how wonderful the whole school thought she was, and please not to move away and everybody would be nice. She wanted to say that don't go away for us. Please stay. Please be with us. We would not repeat it again. The two girls hurried on. They hoped to get to the top of the hill before dark. I think that's where the Petronskis live, said Mattie, pointing to a little white house. Wisps of old grass stuck up here and there along with the pathway like thin kittens. Wisps means patches of green grasses here and there on the pathway like small kittens, they were there. And the house and its spurs means little, small. And the house and its sparse little yard looked shabby but clean. It reminded Maddie of Wanda's one dress, her faded blue cotton dress, shabby but clean. Actually, children, shabby means not clean, untidy, dirty. But here shabby means shabby but clean, cannot be. Actually, shabby here means clumsy, but clean. The dress was clean, but it was clumsy. You can say a bit oxymoron, you can say. Opposite meaning. So the house and its first little yard looked shabby Here also again the same look, shabby but clean, and it reminded of Wanda's one dress, the only single blue dress that she had, that was clean but clumsy. So she remembered that dress. There was not a sign of life. No life was there. That means they have already left. There was not a sign of life about the house. Peggy knocked firmly on the door, but there was no answer. That means she had left. They had left. She and Maddie went around to the backyard and knocked there. Still there was no answer. There was no doubt about it. The Petronskis were gone. How could they ever make amends? Now, how can they make changes? How can they say sorry? How can they show that they have changed? How can they prove that they have changed their attitude? They turned slowly and made their way back down the hill. Now there is no option. They have already left. There was no scope now to talk to Wanda face to face, front to front. Well, anyway, said Peggy, she has gone now, so what can we do? Besides, when I was asking her about all her dresses, she probably was getting good ideas for her drawing. Again, trying to pacify herself, trying to put up excuses that she might not even have won the contest otherwise. Every day I asked her, every day I poked her. That is why different ideas came to her mind, and that is why she could win the competition. As if she helped her to win the competition. Her teasing had helped Wanda. Maybe indirectly that is truth, but Peggy did not mean it. She tried to think it in a positive way that her everyday asking had put Wanda to prepare more dresses and to make herself ready for the competition. So in that way, indirectly, she was also related in the excellence that she had done in the competition. Maddie turned this idea carefully over in her head, for if there were anything in it, she would not have to feel so badly. But the night she could not get to sleep. She thought about Wanda and her faded blue dress and the little house she had lived in. And she thought of the glowing picture those 100 dresses made, all lined up in the classroom. Her dress was very shabby, clumsy, faded, not colorful. Her house was also like that, very clumsy, not colorful. But her dresses, which are actually the outcome of her thoughts, they were very colorful. So she started thinking about the colorful, about the life she had shown in her dresses. At last, Maddie sat up in bed and pressed her forehead tight in her hands and really thought. This was the hardest thinking she had ever done. After a long time, she reached an important conclusion. She was never going to stand by and say nothing again. If she ever heard anybody picking on someone because they were funny looking or because they had strange names. Now, if somebody makes anyone target about like this, that to make fun of anyone's look or name or dress or anything, which is not in the hand of that particular person, then even if it meant losing Peggy's friendship, she had no way of making things right with Wanda. But now, from now on, she would never make anybody else that unhappy again. Wanda cannot be changed. With Wanda, the equation cannot be changed anymore. But what she can do now, that she would at least retaliate now if somebody makes fun or bullies someone for such odd reasons of big names, uncommon names, unfamiliar names, dresses, looks, etc. Now she has taken up the stand that she would at least retaliate if someone makes a mistake like this. Okay? So children, let us stop here for this video now. I will send you the next video also. Please watch it and we will in that way finish the chapter. Thank you, children.